Hey everyone, it's Reagan Black with some more inspiration for your writing journey. I have a quote for you by Sidney Sheldon. A blank piece of paper is God's way of telling us how hard it is to be God. A lot of times as writers we sit down, we have a great idea, we've got it stewing in our heads, but when it comes time to write and we sit down and we're staring at that blank page, whether it's pen and paper or hands on the keyboard, we sort of freeze and we have this paralysis moment and we don't know how to fill that page. We don't know what's going to be perfect to put on that page. And I think it's really important. There are two tips I want to give you. The first is to just start writing. It doesn't matter if it's your grocery list. It doesn't matter if it's your great idea. It doesn't matter if it's a character description for this book or something else. Just start writing. Just fill that page. Take a deep breath, relax, and fill the page. Okay, and that kind of primes the pump, all right? That'll get your brain connected to your hands and your thoughts in line, and you'll start to sort it out. And so don't let that paralysis, it happens to all of us occasionally, where we just stare at that page and we don't know what to do. We thought we had the perfect opener, but when we see it on the paper, we just erase it because it's wrong. Every book I've ever written, I've changed the beginning. Okay, you know, with my contracts, I write a proposal and an outline, and I put those things together, but my editors know that there are going to be things that change in the beginning. It's important for me to give them the best picture I can of those characters when I deliver a proposal, but they also know that those things are going to change because the story changes it, the adventure that those characters go on. A lot of times you've got to go back and really rework the beginning to make it have impact, to give it that punch, to just really draw the reader in. And those are things you don't know until you get further into the book. So when you're looking at a blank page, don't let that paralyze you. Fill it. Just fill it up. Do your best work right then and keep going, okay? The quote again is, a blank piece of paper is God's way of telling us how hard it is to be God. And that's Sidney Sheldon. And it's a great quote because it is hard. Sometimes we see that and we just freeze. Part of the paralysis is, oh my gosh, how are we going to carry these characters all the way through, right? Worry about the page you're on. Worry about filling that first page and then the next page, and as it gets rolling and your momentum builds, it gets a little bit easier. You know, I think Stephen King even says the hardest part is starting. Once you get started, everything else is easy. So don't let yourself get hung up on making that first page perfect the first time out. Get those ideas down, know that you're going to flesh them out and change them, and be ready to come back and make them perfect once you know more about the characters and the story they go on. The same thing holds for nonfiction. A lot of times, you know, I will write my introduction, the general message I want to deliver, but it's going to change as I get the book sorted out, my thoughts together, organized, get those chapters in line, move them around, and do what I really need to do. And then I can go back and beef up the introduction and really make an impact for that message, okay? So don't let that first page, blank page paralysis freak you out. Everybody goes through it, whether it's the first page, the middle page, whatever, everybody goes through that. So just be aware that it may happen, but to avoid it, just start filling the page. And the more you write, the more you're going to know, and then the more you're going to be able to make that really shine at the end stage of your product, the revision stage, okay? That's really all I have to offer on that particular quote today, so I'm going to wrap this up. Again, I'm Reagan Black. You can find more about me at reaganblack.com. Plenty of books for writers and readers, and if you need some help along the way with your writing journey, be sure to reach out to me. In the meantime, live the adventure and write well.